go ahead and begin with having a small ball nearby. We're going to use that in our footwork series, and I'm applying on 3.5 springs. So if you're on a balanced body model, that is 2 reds, a green, and a yellow. And as you lie down, go ahead and place that ball in between your knees, making it nice and snug. Heels are on the foot bar, toes are lifted towards the ceiling, and we're in a flex position. Take an exhale as you push to straight legs, and inhale to hover. So as we get acquainted with our sensation, getting into our first variation of footwork, start to focus on your breathing style as you inhale through the nose and allow the ribs to laterally expand to opposite sides of the room. And as you take that exhale, make that ha breath like you're fogging a mirror and funnel those ribs back together. Beautiful. Just creating some internal heat in the body. Press out, return, hold it there. Let's add some little pulses up and down, just keeping that ball snug, not squeezing too tightly, just pulsing and minimizing the movement as we go up and down and press. Return home. Taking those toes down at the foot bar, elevate the heels, take an inhale to prepare and exhale to 2 straight legs. So our goal here is to have equal weight distribution through the toes. Heels are gently lifted, so we're not in a super high stiletto position, but we're just kind of maintaining that church heel position. Keeping the chest wide and the facial muscles nice and soft here. Beautiful. Allowing those knees to track nicely with the ankles and the hips, and they are pointing directly towards the sky. You got it. Beautiful flow as you come in halfway, adding those pulses again, and you can feel the intrinsic work here, the deeper sensation above the knee, and press out as we strengthen through those quads and our knees. So allow that ball to just go off to the side in a safe position in Pilates V, so heels together, toes apart, and you still are on your toes here. Every time we're pressing out, you're thinking of intertwining those inner thighs. We're hugging gently through the heels, and we're getting the hips a little bit stronger every single moment we're pressing to 2 straight legs. So there's this sense of keeping the tailbone heavy. We want to maintain the integrity of our neutral spine, so we don't want to overly imprint or overly arch. Beautiful job. Just again, focus on that breath, focus on the awareness you're providing yourself, and drop those heels on your next 2 straight legs, lift and lower. Beautiful, nice and slow as we really articulate through the ankles and through the intrinsic muscles of the feet. And let's go back to parallel. Continue with your calf raises, lifting and lowering. Good. And just starting to feel the sensation through the leg here from the bottom of the calf all the way up to the hamstrings. And then let's go ahead and add in a little bit more where you're turning the toes in, heels are out, and making a little circle. So we're providing this circle as you lift up, heels together, they lower down, they separate. So it's a combination of being parallel and with heels together. So just focus on the circular motion and then go ahead and reverse it when you're ready. And just about 5 or 6 each way, and then return back in. So let's bring those heels up to the foot bar nice and wide. Externally rotated from the hip and pressing out. Beautiful. So when we do footwork, we're taking this opportunity to really warm up those larger muscle groups. It's a chance for us to check in. Good. And then I'm going to have you guys switch it up. So come in halfway and pump upwards. So we're not pulling in all the way. We're just coming down halfway, as if you were doing a squat here. And then hold. Take a moment there as we feel the heat develop in through the glutes and through the hamstrings, and push to straight legs. Bring it back in. Down to your toes, your heels are lifted, still wide. We're pressing out. And we're doing full repetitions here. Let's just do about 5 repetitions, full range of motion. Beautiful. Keeping the chest wide. And then on these last 5, we'll come in halfway and press out. So again, think of like a deep squat here as you go in and then press through those glutes here to activate, get full energy control. Good. And exhale, press. Inhale to return. Good. Little pulses here, and then you're just like flutter kicking those knees upward. Yes, using those inner thighs, and then push out to straight legs. Return home. So we're moving the toes back to the center here. They're a unit, and we're going to go into our prances, our running. You got it. So alternating one leg, not pausing through the center unless that feels best for you today, but we're just adding some just basic running here, keeping the hips stable. Hips are square to the ceiling. And then let's go ahead and add pulses here just to really fine tune it. So you're lifting, 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 lifting upward. Yes, not letting those heels drop down. And it should feel a little different. Exhaling, and then bend the knees to return home. Beautiful. So let's sit ourselves up, and we're going to go ahead and take it down to 2.5 springs. If you're more a beginner, if you have a little weaker hamstrings to the back of the legs. But if we want to challenge, you'll be on 2 reds or just 2 springs, and take that headrest down for our pelvic curls and bridging. We'll grab that ball and place it between the knees again, and just allow for those heels to rest on top of the foot bar in a parallel position. Arms are beside us. Take an inhale to prepare, and on the exhale, we're going to go ahead and lift our hips up high. Good, one long diagonal, and then start to slowly roll and articulate the spine down. So think of your spine as a string of pearls. Activate the glutes, really feel the sensation in the posterior side of the body, and then slowly articulate and lower the spine down from the sternum. Beautiful. Exhale, we lift, activate, squeeze those butt cheeks here. Nice pressure through the ball, activating those inner thighs, and roll down. We're just getting a beautiful stretch here through the spine. Not shrugging our shoulders, but keeping those palms flat. Exhale, we lift and squeeze the ball in for pulses. So now we're actively pressing the ball together. And this, again, all this bridging, all the pelvic curls that we do is helping to stabilize the pelvis and make it stronger. Pulse those hips up, elevate the hips, get up a little higher. Squeeze those butt cheeks as you lift the hips higher to the ceiling. Beautiful. Exhaling, and then press out. So we got some heat here going on. We're not letting it release as you go into your extensions. You're pushing out to straight legs, reminding yourself to keep those hips lifted. Almost like encourage it to lift higher as you bend your knees to pull in. Beautiful. Roll that spine down, gently setting the tailbone to the ground. Perfect. Take a breath. Exhale, peel back up again. Hold it at the shoulder blades. We got this. We're going to extend the right leg out. Hold. Drop it down. Extend the left leg out as we march in place. And the goal is to keep those hips nice and quiet, which is the challenge here. Try not to lose the ball either. Point through those toes and switch to the left side. Good. And hold it there. Roll that spine back down. Inhale through the nose. Press out to 2 straight legs. Drop it to your toes. Get a little stretch. And bend those knees to pull back in. Pressing out. Wait, this is called prehensile. Drop the heels under. Bend the knees. Return back in. And it's a deeper stretch that we're going to feel through the calves. And of course, you're going to want to lift those heels up higher. That is the ideal sensation. And the goal is to keep them down. So once you're done with that, go ahead and sit yourself up. We're going to go to 1 spring, 1.5 springs. So 1 medium spring, 1 light spring, or 1 red and 1 blue. And let's position the ball underneath our tailbone so that we are balancing. And this is going to be a focus more on the upper body. But once we're there, take those hands in the handles, 1 leg at a time in tabletop. Take an inhale to prepare, and exhale, press those arms down. So this is coming from the lats. So you want to feel like those muscles are being activated from underneath your armpit and not really pressing just through the arms. But there is a sense of using your back extensors here. Go ahead and bend the elbow, add some tricep presses, letting those elbows hover off the mat. So again, our flow is a little bit quicker here as we move from one variation to the next. Bring those arms out wide to a V and pull in towards your hips here. Yes. Remind those shoulders to stay away from those ears. Exhale, gathering this energy to pull in towards the hips. Really strong active tabletop here. And then let's find birdie wings. So your elbows are in next to your ribs, but you're in that external rotation and you're just really getting into the tricep in a very different way here. Open wide to a T. Beautiful. Open out like wings. Again, capture that energy as you draw it back in towards your hips. Keep those heels elevated so you're not sinking those heels down. It's a very active, strong tabletop. Those abs are firing. And then take it into your bicep curls again. I'm sorry, tricep presses. So working through the back of the arm as you straighten your arms out. And then we're going to go ahead and bend the elbows like you're sliding your hands underneath the blanket or placing them into your jean pockets. So the elbows are going wide and it's still parallel. Your hands are parallel to the floor here as we soften and bend through the elbows and then straighten the arms. Good. Exhale, reach. Inhale, bend. Exhale, reach. And then from here, hold it. Legs are going to move. We're going to get a little deeper into these abs. So straight legs if you can. Otherwise, tabletop is fine. Lower and lift. Without using momentum here, lower and lift. Excellent. It's easy to go down. It's the work to come up. And then let's add a little single leg lift. Holding your left leg in, 45, lifting with the right. You got it. Focus on that breath and hold the right leg out to 45. Lift the left leg. Yes, the lower portion of the abdominal should be feeling this. So be careful that you're not bringing those shoulders up. And then let's add pulses just to finish this off. So reach those toes up towards the ceiling, little gentle pumps off the ball here. You got it. And then back to tabletop and reach those arms up. Bring one leg at a time to the foot bar. And then we're going to remove the ball here. So transverse abdominis should be feeling it. Our rectus abdominis, which is our surfacey abs, our six pack should be feeling it. And we're going to move into a little bit more abdominal work here. So let's take it to either one spring, one medium, or one light spring. I have on one blue, which is a light spring, and then find that handle here so that you can have a seat on your carriage. Feet are grounded and planted to the ground. Go ahead and interlace those fingers, soft with the elbows, and we're going to keep it quiet as we begin to articulate and C-curve back, really pushing those feet down into the floor. Take an exhale, drive yourself back up to a seated position. Nod the chin to the chest, lower yourself back, and then exhale, return back through the top here. It's a process, so really focus on step-by-step articulation here and really focus on applying pressure into your feet to capture the connection with the abdominal muscles as you return back up again. You'll notice the difference here. If you let those feet float up and try to allow your hip flexors to do the work, we lose the connection that we could basically develop into the transverse abdominis. So hold it here on your anywhere from 6 to 10 repetitions. Find tabletop, and then let's add in a little marching. So one leg can go down, one leg can lift up, and just start to repeat this in a fashion where you're always moving the legs. Still holding a beautiful C-curve here. Scoop that belly, drop those shoulders, and now hold tabletop to add a little twist because we're going to rotate through the torso. Again, we don't want false rotation where we're just moving the head, but we definitely want to feel like we're rotating the spine, moving from the right elbow all the way to the left elbow. Excellent. Again, this is where sometimes having a lighter spring might be more of assistance if you're weaker in the upper body. And then dropping one foot down at a time, restacking our spine up. Excellent. Hold those arms out straight and then bend them back in. The goal is not to move the carriage here, so see if we can keep it steady and see if we can really really master in on those shoulders, doing a lot of the work. Excellent. Keep the neck long. Let's lower it back. Let's keep those arms straight. Adding a different flare on our arm positioning. As you hold your C curve, again, you're keeping the carriage quiet, straightening and bending through the arms. Return back up again. Good. So let's go ahead and hang that up, and we're going to go ahead and take it to the other side, and we'll repeat that whole series. So grab a hold of your handle or your loop and interlace those hands. Take a breath here, and when you're ready, with 2 planted feet, develop a C curve in the spine, scoop through the belly, and return, restack the spine up. So there's this sense of drawing your abs, your belly button away from your pants here, deep into the spine to fully support the work that the postural muscles are doing here. Encouraging our shoulders to stay down. A nice long neck. Again, pressing those feet into the floor, really knowing and understanding the difference that makes here. And then hold it. We're going to go ahead and bring the legs up to tabletop, adding our rotation. Maintaining that C curve. Again, moving through the left elbow all the way over to the right elbow. Once you've hit about 5 to 8 repetitions here, hold center, and then we're going to add that marching in place where you're going to drop one leg down. And I know it's harder to see in this point of view, but again, just think back to what we were doing where you're dropping one foot down, bringing one leg up to tabletop, and continuing to move the legs simultaneously. And then return up once you've hit about 5 or 6 there. Hold your arms straight out, keep the carriage quiet, bend through the elbows, straighten through the arms. Bend through the elbows and straighten through the arms. So this work is all about the shoulders. So you should be feeling shoulders, you should be feeling abs, maintaining this balance. And then once you hit another 5 to 6 repetitions, take it down to your C curve, continuing. Keep the feet grounded, they're rooted. Beautiful. And return back up to the top. Okay, so let's go ahead and change out into our loops here. Once you've done that, we can go down to 1 medium spring, 1 light spring, or a red and a blue. We can have our headrest in a halfway up position if that feels good for you. And then go ahead and lie on your back. We can place the feet into the straps, 1 loop at a time. And just send those legs straight up towards the ceiling once you're comfortable. Beautiful. So take a breath here, get fully rooted, and take a moment to start to lower those legs down to 45. And then open them a little wider than hip distance. Start to soften and bend your knees deep into your chest, and then pressing out with your heels. So really push and dig with your heels to feel the squat, to feel the glute and hamstrings fire up. Good. So if you have bad knees or if you have a hard time just doing squats in general, this is a really nice modification to make so that we are receiving the benefits. But it does take some focus. It does take actively contracting the muscles as well. Bring those feet together, heels together, and we're going to make a little diamond as we hinge from the hips. So you're lowering the heels into the well, keeping those heels together in your Pilates V, and you're not losing the shape that you've created with your legs here. So hinge from those hips to lower the heels into the well. Beautiful. And just feel the work that contributes to this as your abdominals, your core are highlighted. Excellent. Deep breathing. Keep those arms relaxed. Bring the legs straight back up again. Hold. Open out wide and close. Out wide and close. Good. So just think of windshield wipers here as they open and close. Really strengthening through the pelvic floor, through our inner thighs. Keeping a great focus on stabilizing through the hips so it's very quiet. And anywhere from about 6 to 10 repetitions here, what feels good for your body today. And it can change as you go through this workout as well. And then let's go into some circles, some nice wide circles to open up the hip joints, create more synovial fluid, which is lubricating the hip joints so that we're not feeling so stiff, but we are maintaining the mobility. Good. And just gently pressing into those straps, noticing if your legs are opening out equally. It's a really big one. Sometimes we lose focus of that. Or maybe we're applying too much pressure in one of our feet. So how can we make those adjustments here? Excellent. And then go ahead and reverse it. Good. Again, energetic legs. Really bringing that energy together as we circle the legs around. Maybe pushing out from the back of the knee if you are feeling a little tighter. Awesome. Bring those legs back up for a final stretch. And then we can remove one leg at a time, find your foot bar, and place the loops back. So let's come up to a seated position. We're going to make some adjustments here. And we're going to go into either one light spring or one medium spring. So go ahead and find what might be suitable for you. I'm going to go with one red spring. So it's a medium spring for our upper body. Pressing into that wide chest expansion. So legs are through the headrest. Toes are pointed out. And it's a gentle press equally into the loops as we continue to sit upright. We are challenging our postural muscles and reaching those fingertips to the ground. Transition into a bicep curl. Maybe hinge it back for a little bit more core focus. And exhale. Keep your elbows in line with your shoulders so they're not dropping down too low or lifting up too high where it compromises your form. And then let's add a combination. One bicep curl with the chest expansion. Flip those arms around and switch to the other side. So there's this rhythm. It's like a little dance that you're flowing. Bicep curl on one side, chest expansion on the other. And then if you want a little deeper abdominal work, go into that C curve. So tuck that tailbone under and lower back. Perfect. Exhale, bicep and chest expansion. It's an equal amount of pressure you're applying into both the loops. And then let's return back up. Good. So from here, upper body is ready. Core is ready. We're going to get into some full body work. And we're going to go ahead and get into some planks. So I'm on a lighter spring. The lighter you go, the more the body has to do the work here. Find your hands on the ledge, shoulders over the wrists. Push out for me, and then drive yourself back in again. So there's a step-by-step process. Push out to a plank, a kneeling plank. Push away from the ledge, drag your body back into the ledge, bend the knees to the quadruped position. Push the knees out away from you. Slide away from the ledge, slide forward. Tuck those knees underneath your hips. Beautiful job. So again, taking the time to make it more mechanical, not so fluid. Try to relax the shoulders so they're not up on top of your ears. And then stay out on this next one to add in a few more repetitions. So you're pushing the knees out from underneath you. You're pulling them back in with your abdominal muscles. So the lighter the spring, the more the focus is be on the abs. And they have to do the work here. Good. Bring yourself all the way back in. Wonderful. And then we're going to go ahead and flip ourselves around. So that was our preparation for our more challenging plank position here. So turning yourself around to face the risers, come down to your forearms, feet are on the ledge, hold it right there. And then as you push to a straight leg, go ahead and take that left leg above the foot bar, hold it as we pike upwards. You got it. Keep that left leg lifted, try not to touch the foot bar. Scoop through the belly. The higher you can go, the more beneficial this will be. And then about 5 there, set that down. Take the right leg, hover it off the foot bar. Take an exhale, and we pike it up. Lift. Exhale, lift. Shoulders are down, away from those ears. You got it. Exhale, reach. Exhale, and set it down, one knee at a time. And return back in. Beautiful job. So let's get into a little lower body here as we go into some lunges. You can be on one medium spring. Let's place that left foot up against the shoulder block. And then the ball is coming back out and we're placing it underneath the heel of the right foot. Left knee is hovering off the carriage and hands to the hips. Take a breath as you inhale, lower into a lunge. Exhale, just try to explode off that ball as you squeeze through the right butt cheek here. So it's providing a little imbalance. So there's this moment of feeling like you're pressing your heel into the ball for stability. But as we're doing this, we're creating some imbalance as well. And then just project your body up straight like an elevator. Funneling those ribs as you take that exhalation. About 10 repetitions here on our lunges. And return back in. Good. Set that ball off to the side for a sec. Go into a regular eaves lunge, opening up through the hip flexor. And then take a hamstring stretch as you straighten out that right leg. Arms are long. And one more time here at your own comfortable pace. And you can be active about it or you can just hang out and relax. And as you bring it to a close, let's go ahead and pick up that ball, take it to the other side so we can repeat. So this time the right foot is supported by the shoulder block. The ball's on the ground and the left heel is puncturing the ball here. So again, hands to the hips, right knees off the carriage, take an inhale, and we lower into our lunge. We use the exhalation to power ourselves back up again. Good. Keep that chest wide open and challenge yourself to look straight ahead. Try to avoid looking down. Perfect. Just bringing in a lot of those Pilates principles again. So if you're not aware of your body and what it's doing, it's going to be hard to actually create the balance. Good. Maintaining that nice alignment to really reduce any type of wear and tear or injuries. Knowing your range of motion. And take the hands back to the foot bar. You can lose the ball as we go into our stretches, our eaves lunge. and then our hamstring stretch. Again, just taking a moment there to find what works best for you. Beautiful. Nice deep hamstring stretch as we square off the hips and open up the back of the left leg. And then let's go ahead and go into our side over. So we're going to grab a hold of that short box. We can take all of our springs on. Our foot bar can come down flat, and make sure you have that safety strap available to you. Once you're there, go ahead and have a seat on your right side. Left foot is going to go into the strap here, and just relax your right leg on top. So you can use the headrest for assistance. Otherwise, we can take those hands behind the head, but really keeping your chest open like you're in two panes of glass. Inhale to go sink it over. Exhale, let's lift back up. Inhale, just go ahead and dip over. Exhale, we come up. The legs should not be moving here. And that's how you know you're isolating the obliques a lot more as we get into the internal obliques and external obliques. Chest is open, nice and wide. Beautiful. Add a little twist and pulse and pulse and pulse. Looking at your foot, you're pulsing, you're cinching, crunching. You got it. And return. Take a stretch, turn the other way, look down at the floor, hands on the frame of the carriage. Stretching out completely, and then returning back up again. Right foot is in, and then again, finding your hand placement. Elbows are wide, chest is open, we're dipping it down. Take a moment there, and exhale, we lift. Beautiful. Looking straight ahead, not dropping our chin. I know that makes it harder, but maybe your range of motion needs to be shortened up and your leg isn't moving. So if you feel like you're coming up all the way to a seated position, we don't have to. Try coming up halfway. Good. Exhale and exhale. Adding those pulses at the end. We're turning, we're looking at our foot, crunching, cinching. You've got it. Just pulse. Get a little deeper, and then take that final stretch here as we turn and twist to the ground. Just appreciating the work that we've done today. And then when you're ready, go ahead and carefully go ahead and step off. And we'll go into our final exercise of the day in our extensions, just to finish off our full body workout here. So I'm going to place on just a light spring, just a blue spring. Reach those arms up. Take a moment. Press that long box away. Really focus on extending the spine. Then you're going to round yourself back up again. It's almost like a modified cat stretch here. So you're rounding through the back, using your abs to pull up, and then you're dropping down into this extension where we elongate the spine and focus on lengthening the spine. So think of your tailbone reaching behind. Reach it on out. Beautiful job. Very active. Not focusing on more of the stretching right now, but just staying active with it. Feel those back extensors. Really get the workout that they deserve. And then hold it there and push and straighten through the arms. Beautiful. Strong shoulders. Keep your heels down, flat and grounded. Nice. And roll yourself back up to the top here. Reach, maybe look at your hands. Cactus stretch there. Bring it all the way down. One more time up. Dive yourself to the floor. Beautiful job today, guys. I'm so glad we were able to do this workout together. I hope you liked it. Hit a thumbs up, leave a comment, helps the channel. And stay tuned for some of my online courses that are being launched. If you want to become a mat certified instructor, or a mat and reformer certified instructor, these online courses are launching very soon. So stay tuned, send me a message, and I will give you all that information. Until next time.